Okay, on this video we will be looking at some tools you can use to troubleshoot your Ubuntu computer system. Now, some common problems are computer running slow or freezing. Some problems could be with connection to the internet or connection to your router, things of that sort. We are going to be using some pretty common tools. We're going to be using 3 tools today. And the first one is going to be the system monitor. The second one will be the log file viewer. And we're also going to be using the network tools. Let's take a look at the monitor, system monitor. So to do that, you just go to your system administration and you go to system monitor. Okay, so in your system monitor, let's go to the first tab. The first tab is just going to give you some basic information about your system, how much memory you have, what processor you have, and how much free space. And it will also tell you which version of Ubuntu you're running. If you go to the processes tab, you'll have a list of processes running on your computer right now, and it'll tell you how much of the CPU they're using and how much memory, things like that. Now, when you look at this list, you could be looking at something that you know. You could be looking for something that you know is running, and you might not find it here. And to be able to see that, you might have to go to View and click All Processes, because by default it will be on My Processes, and it's not going to show you all of them. So just select All, and it will show you the list of everything that's running. Now let's say your computer is running slow all of a sudden and you don't know what's going on. Well, one thing you can do is you can come here to the system monitor, and where it says CPU, just click it, and it will have the processes that are using the most CPU on the top of the list first. Now you can see that I'm recording my desktop right now, and record my desktop is using most of my CPU. So if you know you don't have anything running, like you close all the applications and your system is still sluggish and it's still running slow, you can come here and see what's using most of your CPU. And it does happen sometimes when maybe you close Firefox and it looks like it's closed, but the process for it is still running and it's using almost 100% of your CPU. Some of those problems happen where the program gets confused, it doesn't think it's closed, and it just loops back and it eats up your memory and your CPU power. And if that happens, if you want to terminate it, you can just select it and go to End Process. If that doesn't work, sometimes you have to right click it and go to Kill Process, and that will close that process for you. Now, some other things that you can use here are like if you're doing some converting, video converting, like you're converting video from I don't know, like Xvid to MPEG or something like that. That uses a lot of this CPU power. And let's say you want to do that, and at the same time you want to do other things, and you don't care how long the conversion of the video would take. What you can do is just select that process, the process of the video conversion. Maybe it would be FFmpeg or something like that. And what you do, you just right click it and go to change priority. And if you want it to have lower priority, so it will not using 100% of your CPU, maybe you just want it to use 50%, then you want the other 50% to be available for other things that you're still doing on the computer. What you have to do is just move the slider up and that will lower the priority for it. And instead of that process using all your power, now you will be able to do other things at the same time. It will get it a little bit slower, but you will be able to multitask. Other things you can look at here are resources. You can look at the history of your resources, your CPU usage, your memory, your swap, and your network history. And here you can see your file system, your drives, and see how much is used and how much free space you have. So again, you just take a look at your processes, and they will tell you a lot about what's going on in your system. And most of the time, you can eliminate most of the problems by going to this tab. Now, if you have a problem and you can't find any process here that's using too much of your system resources, there is another thing you can do. You can go to System Administration and go to the log file viewer. And what the log file viewer does is it tells you everything that's going on in your system, basically. And you have a bunch of logs here, and you can see what's going on. Now, I found that this log viewer that's included with Ubuntu is not very good. It's not very clear. There's just a bunch of text everywhere, and you have no idea what's going on. Now, I found another one. If I go to System Tool, it's called KsystemLog. I guess it's for the KDE, maybe. But I found that one is much simpler and clearer. So just go to your Synaptic Package Manager, and you should be able to find KsystemLog.